Raise 125.
I think we were supposed to start at 60 minutes, right?
Just another little minute, and then we'll go strictly to the action.
Yeah, they added the break. They took off
Well,
the break.
they
off
took off the
the
break off. Yeah, yeah.
We turn the stream.
Hey Tony, we had 60 years.
They'll fix it. They'll fix it. They're on it.
To reference. All right, so we're running again. And the interviews and picks, yeah, Betty, I know. The interviews that we shot, the audio quality is not great. The video quality is not great. We had just set this interview area up, and unfortunately, it's not something we're going to go with for this presentation. We might be able to clean up some video or audio portions and try to make it a little more presentable, but for the purposes of this event, we're going to skip it. But we do have a few pictures to put on the screen with
125.
a little bit of graphics. Sam, pocket sevens, takes it up to 125. Albert is the small blind with ace queen. Michael with pocket fives in the big blind. This one could get meshy.
All in.
Looks like it's Albert moving all in with the ace-queen offsuit from the small blind. Michael now has pocket fives. Well, not like folding a pair, but with all this action, does choose to do so slowly.
Thank you, Vex.
Sam has Albert covered with pocket sevens.
See, the production's waiting for the dealer to count down that stack so we can clarify that number. They will then make the adjustments. Come back when the math is correct. I think they're presupposing that Sam is calling this.
No, from what we've seen of Sam, he doesn't like the questionable spots. Understandable, this is a big tournament. He got in on a satellite. Does not want to cripple his stack by being wrong in a position like this.
A coin flip.
Yeah, and he can't know that. Question is, would Albert do this with sixes through deuces? And if not, perhaps like the ace-5, ace-4s that are, you know, so sexy to put in as 3-bet jams these days from the blinds. He's trying to figure out if Albert's capable of plays like that. When I say capable, I mean, you know, would he choose to do so in a situation like this? If not, then yes, we are either way behind against a bigger pair, or we're in a flip situation. So if the best possible situation is a flip, that's not where you want to be. In this case, he does fold, looks for a better spot.
There you go. And there's Albert, stacking the chips. Albert, best cash, $413,238. Oddly enough, 17th place for that cash. The guy plays in big tournaments.
Wow.
He plays in a lot of big tournaments.
Albert's been here before.
Yep.
Notice that blinds have gone up to 30,000 and 60,000 with the 60,000 big blind ante. 150K in the pot. Pre-flop every hand. Michael with another big hand from the small blind, pocket eights. He has about the stack that he came into the final table with. He's won some pots, lost some pots. Can't seem to accumulate chips like he'd like to as the chip leader.
Raise 165,000.
Notice he chose to raise the 5-8 offsuit earlier in this same situation. Also raises a strong hand like 8-8, so balanced. Playing the same strategy in the small blind whenever he chooses to get involved. Sam, let's go the 10-7 on.
Good fold. Michael, that's 79,000 in that that graphic there.
Okay.
And again, Omar's pictures, they're so good. Go on to moneymakerpt.com. Go to the photo galleries. This guy is very talented. He's putting out some good product here. But that 79,823 was from Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa. He took first place in that event about 2 months ago.
I think that's where he was when he won his ACR package for this tournament. I think he told me he busted out of a tournament down at Seminole. Didn't know what he was going to do with the rest of the day. Pulled up ACR, so hey, they got a package running. Let's fire this, and now here we are. So
there we go.
Maybe the best bust out of a tournament of his
Right.
life. Freed him up, let him play a satellite, won one of the 25 seats guaranteed, and now finds himself on the final table of the first ever Moneymaker Tour main event.
Sam in the small blind with Jack 5. He puts in a call.
See if James identifies his hesitancy and
You checked along.
does choose to play a flop in position. Flop's the best hand. Makes middle pair with his 6-7. Hard to make a pair, especially these blind versus blind situations. You miss the flop way more often than you hit it.
75,000.
This here is the trendy thing to do in tournament poker these days. Limp the small blind and just lead out whether you make a pair or not, because
Wow.
it's hard for your opponent to. And then the backup
Sam.
plan is to turn the best card in the deck.
Climbs on top with that one.
And it goes check, check. Tricky, tricky, Mr. Sam.
James don't miss nothing though. Look at him.
Check.
Oh, another check.
Check. It changed his mind. He definitely thought he was betting right there.
I think James will be content to. Well,
Is
perhaps
that a check for value? Yeah.
maybe he's thinking that Sam has a deuce. And so we might see a small value bet, but no. Check
Yeah.
behind.
You heard him say Jack. Like, yep. All right.
7.
I know.
James smiles.
Thought we were chopping it.
He said, I thought we were chopping. So he put his opponent on a 7, just like he had them. These are cumulative winnings. This is just since we started playing today on the feature table. So Sam has chipped up nicely. He came in fairly short stack, and now with nearly, what, 1.6 in front of him or something along those lines. 1.9.
Look at these hands.
5-handed, it's just so hard to make a strong hand, much less have multiple strong hands at the same time.
Right.
Got some action.
I saw Albert fold Queen Jack offsuit. Queen of Hearts, Jack of Spades.
A little tight, perhaps.
125,000.
Depends on his chip stack. I'm not certain exactly where he's at this point, but one of the shorter stacks, I believe, doesn't want to. Every chip is valuable. Doesn't want to put him in light from under the gun, and we know it wouldn't have got through.
That's a call. That's the second call I've seen, I think, in this tournament.
Don't mind just calling with the ace-jack suited. Plays well post-flop since it's of the suited variety. Ace-jack offsuit, often we 3-bet there, try to take control of the pot, give ourselves more ways to win. We oftentimes flop at least one club. In this case we did not. 10-7-7, going to be hard for Sam to win this one. He does have position, and he has Michael betting into him with the 9-9. Fairly decent flop for the 9-9. only one overcard. Paired board makes it hard for your opponent to have a strong hand. Ooh.
He just calls.
Sam floats, 2 overs.
Oh.
Hits the ace on the turn. Once more, hits the card he needs. Michael knows that Sam floats the flop a lot with a lot of ace highs. Maybe even some 10s. Now behind both of those hands. Blocks the straight draws. So 8-9, of course, the most obvious straight draw. But he has 2 9s, so really difficult for his opponent to have a straight draw. So if we remove the straight draws, there's no flush draw on the flop. Now we lean towards a 10, a 7, and an ace. And all of those beat you now. So Michael identifies that. Checks on this terrible card. We've seen Sam shy away from going for value in interesting marginal spots. This case, I think it's a clear-cut value bet once we turn. We float the flop and turn one of the best cards in the deck. Got to bet.
215,000.
And it appears the other players are soaking up all of the information available on this table.
Yeah.
They are not watching their phones anymore, that's for sure.
Phones unavailable, obviously set aside. We saw them be taken from the players, so they're all focused. Nothing else to do, no distractions.
That is a rule in the house, that you not have your phones, your earbuds, or anything electronic on you at the table. We do let people use their phones, but they're supposed to use a side table so that they don't put their phones directly over the table.
Gotcha. Michael calls with the 9-9. Non-believing.
Yeah, trust issues, huh?
And if the board could get worse for him, another over. King, not really that bad of a card. His opponent doesn't have many kings here
Check.
that don't also include one of the other pairs on the board that already had him beat.
Is there a bet that gets called at this point?
I wouldn't think so, knowing Michael's exact 2 cards.
Yeah.
That said, if Sam thinks that Michael has a worse ace, now that's chopping. Ace for ace 9, ace 8, ace 5, ace 4. All those hands that Michael might play this exact
Check,
same way,
shove.
they're
Right.
chopping. But that's not what he has. He has the 9-9.
Nines
And
and sevens,
out of
aces and
position,
sevens.
no action on the river. Michael has to show first. So I promise you, those 2 players right there, James Carroll, Stephen Song, are noticing how light he was willing to continue there with the 9-9, processing it, making plans for future hands. I also noticed that Sam floated the flop with ace-jack there. So all these things you take into consideration. Maybe adapt your strategy against them slightly when you play in the future.
Tightening up the ranges. It's every hand now. They're all going to have hands every hand now. Gojo, welcome to the chat. Thank you. And for everything, I guess.
Raise 120,000.
Michael raises the king 10 suited. Absolutely. Worth a raise, 40% of a royal flush, especially playing 5-handed.
Nobody's got much to fight with there.
Oh, Albert not continuing with his 6-7 off.
Thank you.
Fairly quiet table. Payouts are big. Money is getting real. A couple commentators or commenters were talking about table's very serious. They all look very serious. Well,
Yeah.
Big paydays in store. The next person eliminated gets 28K and some change. Then it jumps up to 36K. So,
And then the next one after that is 60.
yeah, we've got big pay bumps with every
Raise
elimination. So
125,000.
each spot, each chip you put into the pot is worth a lot of real money. Even though they have no cash value themselves, they represent a large portion of equity in this tournament. And Michael still has the majority of them, although slightly less after this last couple hands.
Just 5.3 million.
He's managed it well. Lost that first big hand. Hasn't really changed his game. Doesn't seem too shook.
He's still getting cards. That helps.
Okay. Notice in the previous hand that the 6-7 was folded in the big blind. Here, Michael calls with the 6-8. Could that be Michael more willing to play post-flop? Probably. But also, he has a big stack, so he can afford to see some more flops in comparison with the man on his right.
Check.
Hold'em fan asks a good question. Okay, where are the viewers with the thumbs up button? Let's go, YouTube viewers. Let's hit a thumbs up. Let's show some love for this Moneymaker Tour. This main event.
340,000.
awesome.
Gold Joe with the troll. Well done, very clever. Thank you for your comment. But free poker content, Moneymaker Tour main event. Very happy that there's a stream here to document this because, you know, Moneymaker, Tony Burns, they have big plans for this event. And this is the very first one, so as we look back in the future, this will be here for all of us to appreciate. YouTube content is not hard restricted, so there is no age limit. I speak as far as our country's laws. I'm not sure about others. Michael in the small blind, another pair. Thus far, anytime he's got involved in the small blind, he has raised. So we'll see if that strategy continues or if he mixes in some limps with strong hands like the 5-5.
Technically comes to the call. You have to like pull
Yeah,
it back.
that's what I
and
thought.
then-
Look at him
Yeah.
mix in a call with the 5-5. Sam does have a bigger stack, so
60 up there, yeah.
maybe he was more willing to put more chips in the pot out of position when there was less to play for. Now Sam has 2.3 million. Michael just calls.
And a 5 right on the flop.
Flops a set.
Unfortunately, Sam's got air and not much hope of anything else. He could go runner straight.
Yeah, no clubs present. It's just small chance of backdoor straights.
Yeah, he's got 0 value. He's out of there quick.
That's frustrating. Almost feels like a loss when you flop a set and don't make any money.
Yeah.
Would have made the exact same if his opponent had just folded pre-flop, but he knows the game. Hard to make a strong hand and hard to have your opponent make a second best hand as well.
That picture right beside that guy is Stephen Song. Best cash, $712.
712,000, yeah.
12,000. 12,000, yeah. That was the WPT, right?
I believe so. Makes sense. I know that's one of his biggest titles. Albert with the 4-4 wakes up with the sailboats. He's got $1 million in front of him. That is less than 20 big blinds. If he had less than, say, 15 big blinds, he might just move this all-in pre-flop, depending on how he constructs his all-in ranges. But with nearly 20, a raise is fine. Has too much to risk with an all-in bet. Still can go for some value and play some post-flop play. This time he picks up the middle, which is 150K every hand. So when your stack is 1 million and you win 150,000 pre-flop, that's a large portion of your stack. It matters.
So what did you think about Dreher Park, the loudest park in America?
That was fun. Yeah, you know, when I'm playing in a park, I don't care too much about highway noise. If I was out there just walking, relaxing, trying to read or something like that, then I might be a little more annoyed. Playing disc golf,
Right.
I don't mind a little noise.
Sure. We gotta get
As long as I hear a lot of chains clinking.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's fine.
Try to make it as easy as possible.
We have incorporated poker in almost every sport that we've played down here. With
870 to start.
bowling, if you get a striker or spare, you get a card. You play a game where you buy in, you get a card every striker spare. At the end of the round, whoever has the best poker hand wins the pot.
Oh, that's fun.
We wanted to try to do that for the disc golf also.
Not expecting that.
Make a birdie, you get a card.
Yeah.
Must have been pretty fucking bad.
I would have had
That's just the part of it.
5 cards today.
Yeah.
Would have got dealt a 5-card poker hand.
Pretty good. I had.
No, wait, maybe 4. What did I end up at? 2 under?
You were 2 under.
Yeah, so I had 2 bogeys. So 4
Yeah.
birdies, 2 bogeys.
And I had 3, and I was -1.
You were very consistent. Your mid-range shots are just on target. Didn't miss many circle 1 putts. I'm a little more roller coaster. I'll just shank one every once in a while.
3 point.
It's a fun game. I think it's going to be an Olympic sport.
Fingers crossed. I hit the basket so many times with my putts today.
Yeah.
Top band, lower band.
25,000.
Oh. If I could adjust my disc up or down 2 feet
Right.
all day, I'd be 10 under.
Yeah.
James opens up the 6-5 suited. Very pretty on the button. Look at this Albert with the ace-3 offsuit. Might he be considering a shove against the late position open?
Disc golf, but yes.
Krasiefty boy says, go Mike. Mike Rossi,
Crazy
he's rooting for.
VT boy, maybe. Virginia Tech.
Oh, that makes more sense. There
Yeah.
were so many Russians in the chat over the last few days.
Yeah.
My mind went to pronounce that word as Russian.
Rzyevska's.
Crazy VT boy also probably more likely.
The city of Rzyevska's mayor,
Maxime.
Maxime.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing on the stream.
He made a deep run, actually eliminated, I think, in 7th
Seventh
place,
place,
right?
yeah.
Final table bubble.
Hell of a lot of fun having them in the chat.
Yeah, he's a popular PLO streamer down here in Florida from a small town in Russia. Told all his fans and followers that he was playing, and then the last several days, our chat has been full of Russians, some of them speaking Russian that we couldn't understand, some English, but we
Right.
knew who they were supporting, and that was Maxime. He went out in 7th place, made nearly $20,000 for his efforts.
TNTL? Oh, TNT Twan.
Oh,
Is that what you're saying? Go Mike.
125,000.
is that you, TNT Twan? Are you crazy VT boy?
Oh, Vietnamese. Okay. VT Vietnam.
Vietnam.
It's not Virginia
Also
Tech.
makes sense.
Okay.
So many options. Yes, excellent.
There we
Nice
go.
watching you play. That was fun. You had a lot of followers rooting you on as well.
That's
Made a
correct.
deep run. Congrats on the cash. Cash, yes? TNT1 made the cash? Or was it not just outside of it? And I'm sorry, my brain's foggy. Not trolling you, but you should hang your head high. You played well the time we had you on stream.
Yeah, we were giving you the business about getting the TNT in there, and then you did.
I slipped in so many jokes. 50-ish,
50-ish,
sorry,
yeah.
just outside. Next time you'll get them.
Open ender for James. Sam again with a pocket pair. This time 7s again.
Flops 3 overs though. Gonna be hard to hold on, and James won't be afraid to put the pressure on with these 2 overs and the open ender.
150,000.
Oh, good. Good luck. Good luck to you, bud.
Let's go TNT.
Bagged at the Hard Rock.
Every time we lose, hopefully we're learning something from the experience, not just a failure. Most of the times, even the best players, most of the times do not cash tournaments. So it's not a failure by any means. keep putting ourselves in these positions, and eventually we'll come out on the right side.
Sam didn't seem to quite believe him, but he got out. He didn't have a lot to fight against.
It's interesting, you notice that the satellite players, especially Sam, whenever he has a decision like that, folds and then he looks at the two players and kind of, the two very experienced players on his left, and kind of tells them, I had this, or man, I don't know what I'm supposed to do there.
I think he just lied on that one, though. He said ace.
He said I had an ace?
Yeah.
And you took a picture at
So,
some point with some kind of
that's
Maybe
chancy.
putting some false information out there, hoping his opponents pick up on it. Not sure, but you can tell when players ask questions of these, they respect their game, they know they're experienced, trying to soak up the experience and learn something at the same time.
Sure.
James from under the gun, which playing five-handed is also the same thing as the hijack. Opens up the 7-6 suited.
Back to Sam, who calls representing pocket 7. Little ace reference there. Oh, he hits. He hits huge.
Ace high flop. James is going to c-bet often here.
110,000.
And small, appropriate 1/3 pot. Continue often takes it down against a big blind range. We know that Sam is near the top of his big blind defend range with the ace-8. We'll call. James looking for a 4 or an 8 as the best cards in the deck to give him an open ender. That's not either one of those cards. Likely checking to give up here. I think Sam might go for a small bet and try to get some value out of a jack or a 10. When James checks behind, he has either nothing or a medium strength hand, like a pair that is not an ace. And so a bet likely accomplishes the same thing, or a bet in either situation is good. If he has nothing, he's not going to call anything. And the check on the turn means he's just giving up often. Notice even Song opting to fold the pocket deuces there. A lot of players see a pair, want to get involved. Have to realize that deuces don't play very well post-flop. We're playing short stack poker, ICM implications. Maybe he's, you know, one step above the rest of us, not getting married to any pair. Lets the deuces go. One of our commentators and dealers would hate that. Who is it that loves pocket deuces?
Mo.
Steffi would never forgive him for doing so.
Not so, yep, not at all. Hi, Arlene. Thank you for joining us again from Cebu, the Philippines.
Arlen Chavez back in the chat. Hello, you've been here several of the past few days. Appreciate you being here.
Hold'em fan says Doug Polk and Jonathan need some highlight reels, hands from this tour for their program to let the world know about PBKC. Well, we're hoping we're doing that too, and I agree. I think everybody should recognize that this is a beautiful stream, excellent tournament, fantastic action. The play is phenomenal. So this is what you want if you want to watch poker content. This is the straight dope.
Came into today with 6 players. Here we are, over 2 hours in. We've lost only 1, and expected that. Players came into this table of 6 with average stacks of 54 big blinds. That's pretty deep for a final table play. Speaks to the structure Tony Burns has put together, but Often it means that eliminations are spread out
Raised to
quite a
135.
ways. Thus far, we've lost one. We are playing down to a winner today. Albert opens up the pocket eights from under the gun to 135,000.
All right, going forward, if we do have breaks, we're going to watch, or we're going to play through the break. So we'll throw a video up, or we'll just talk to you guys during the break as they happen. I just don't want to miss any of the action. I feel like we missed a hand coming back, almost missed a hand coming back. We didn't miss it.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Steven downtown, and Albert will take that pot.
Felt like 2.5.
Thank you, Rex. We might get colloquial around here every now and then. There's Sam. Best cash $21,295 at the PLO event. Took first place in the Spring Fling in Sarasota, Florida.
Michael Rossi looking at another very pretty hand, the ace-jack suited.
Notice that I have the best win for all the players except for James. I have his
130.
career totals. So
Well, an impressive number it is.
it is. I think that's maybe why I ended up with that on the graphic.
Three big hands, and this one might spell trouble for Steven.
Well,
And
thank you.
especially if James just calls, which he does. How does James know? Steven's going to look down at the under the gun range from the chip leader and an only call from James on the button, and going to be very tempted to put all of his chips in the middle here.
What a fascinating hand.
Sitting around that 15 big blind mark. Pocket seven's a very strong hand. Your opponent's, obviously Michael has been raising a lot, so his range appears to be pretty wide. And James only calls the button, so doesn't have a super strong hand. But James might be doing this just with the intention of getting Steven to move all in here. I don't think James will be folding. We'll see. James mixing raises and folds likely in a spot like this.
And again, fascinating to watch this play. Wow, he let him go.
Wow, well done to get away from
Great
the
lay down
sevens in
there,
that
yeah.
spot.
Albert also folds, and it's heads up.
Well, Michael,
you flop any good?
two pair, standard for the man with the chip lead.
Poker Capone, thank you. Welcome back.
Good to have Colin Capone in the house. He runs a podcast. If you haven't checked it out, please do. All In with Colin Capone. Talks all things poker. Interviewed Chris Moneymaker himself earlier this year. Some other
150.
big names and big things in the works with him. So give him some love. Anybody that's promoting this game does so for us weekend warriors. Puts themselves out there, producing poker content, deserves love. So thank you, Colin. Appreciate your support this week by being in here.
Small, yeah, small pair. That's sevens.
It's a good fold.
So just remember when I shove, I pull the
I remember the last time you shoved.
I'm not just shoving with sevens.
If Steven's able to spin this short stack up to a deeper run and even a win, he's going to look back on hands like that and really tough folds, but he's made the right one every time thus far.
Does that mean he was dead, or?
Flop pretty good. Flop's pretty good.
I was losing regardless of what happened.
Who knows, man? Seven
Well,
fields,
yeah.
You know, seven fields. Nah, I wasn't coming.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would have shoved it. Was for sure.
Players talking a little bit. Notice Steven got confirmation already that he made a good fold.
I can think
Sometimes-
if you can hear.
Oh, James told him. Is that right?
I think maybe we were congratulating him on a good fold on stream, and
Oh,
then
yeah, it's not
they
even
told him
close.
that we said that, and then he said thank you to
I
us.
see.
I
Okay.
think that's the way that went down. Regardless, well played, Stephen. Excellent. Here we have Michael and Albert getting involved. This 10-7 interacts a little bit with both their hands. Michael with a gut shot. Albert bets small, gets a call from Michael. Somehow Michael doesn't turn the nuts for once. 3 of clubs will miss them both. Now Albert slows down, holding only queen high. Will Michael bet without the strong hand, recognizing his opponent doesn't have a strong one himself? He will. And folds. Good job, Michael. Now Albert is in the danger zone as well. So him and Steven are our short stacks. They're in the middle of the table. The big stacks now on the wings.
Fairly card dead for both of them, so maybe it's time for that to turn around. I used to say I don't play the cards, I just feel the backs. If it feels like good energy, then I raise.
What are your career tournament winnings?
Good question. That was before Hendon Mob, unfortunately. At least I can always fall back on that. I bought into 2 tournaments last year, and in both cases, jammed on the turn when I was drawing dead. Yeah, and got called both times.
Of course.
Destroyed. Yeah.
Those are the things that don't show up on Hidden Mob, thank goodness.
Yeah.
The stats you don't want to read about.
I just love overplaying hands.
So I keep on thinking in counters, like, oh,
Raised to 125.
such a free spot to pick up so many chips.
I think they're talking about the 7s versus 9s versus ace-jack hands still. Steven's spidey senses told him to get out of the way. He's still in the tournament thanks to that fold.
That could be Hollywood.
Yeah.
At least you get to see some action regardless.
You have it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm not folding it.
No, no.
Chona in the chat supporting Miss Wendy.
I'm still not folding it.
You guys obviously should know that Wendy is a very popular dealer here. You should know by now.
So much love for Wendy. It's good to see.
Albert, best guy. I talked about Albert's cash. I've gotten all the
Even then,
pictures
you're
up,
locked
I
so
think.
much millions. Who
Those
cares?
ranges tighten up though there.
Yeah, that too.
So again, check out those pictures on
You've gone deep, right?
moneymakertourpt.com.
My first year playing.
The one
In
that
the photo
fell in
gallery, you can see pretty much everybody who was here. And this guy, Omar,
Yeah, it's
is
hilarious.
a magician. He
One
makes
of- he was
it, every
winning
photo is
phosphorus.
fantastic.
Yeah. He didn't do anything even
And
remotely.
so, such a good
Yeah, he
hand
was
to be
like-
around. He's so
he's
happy to be
getting
here.
mad
He
at
loves
me. He's like,
poker.
"Let's
He hasn't been
play
around poker for that long.
tournament."
First couple photography gigs he picked up, he told me he did for
It
free.
was, yeah.
Just trying to get his name
That was
out there,
way
show people his
before-
work. He's improved steadily. He's been noticed by some of the biggest companies, and he's going to WSOP this summer to photograph the poker news. So
Fantastic.
29 or something?
good for him,
150.
making
Hopefully,
a career for himself. Love to see it. Poker Capone asked how many satellite winners are still in. He loves to shout out the people who turn a small entry into a big score. There are 2. Both of them got in on satellites via ACR. Those are going to be Michael Rossi right there in your screen in seat 9. And then seat 1 as well, that's Sam. They both got in via ACR satellites for around the $90 range and now have parlayed that into a final table appearance.
Interestingly enough, you know, I said Florida was a big place, and it means a lot to be from here, you know. But these 2 guys are from right down the road from each other.
Amazing. Locals
Sarasota
via
and Tampa.
satellites.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're about an hour away from
What a
each
good
other.
story.
Must have been the first.
Especially at the Moneymaker Tour in honor of the man who did it himself 20 years ago. So cool that we still have these storylines in play. And with excellent chances at taking it all down, both of them fairly big stacks. Michael the biggest, Sam right in the middle, about average stack.
I mean, you probably can't see
You
that.
watched yesterday the
Black mark in the corner, you see it?
Yes, I did.
It wasn't coming out, it was running this one.
yeah, it'll come right off, hopefully. If not, we'll replace it. Faded Spade, shout out to Faded Spade. They make a fantastic quality product. But anyway, if you were watching the stream at the end of it yesterday, Michael lit. He caught fire.
Yeah.
He was unbeatable.
Could do no wrong. When he put it in behind, he sucked out. And he just so many premiums. Every other hand, it felt like he was looking down at ace king, ace queen, or better. And he made it work. You know, when you raise that much and you get involved that much, people don't really give you credit. They start thinking you can't have it every time. Well, yesterday he had it every time. And then one of the biggest hands, he had 9-9 against the queen of. The lady's name? Diana.
Yeah.
She had queen, got almost half her chips in the middle pre-flop, and then he flopped a set. Of course, Michael flopped a set and got it all. That catapulted him up to the top.
You never played it either?
Never played.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, we're full-time, man, you know? Haven't had the chance to really
Yeah,
get into it. I was talking to it's a long time about people out there, yeah.
Again,
It's a sick tournament.
Michael has queens.
The levels do feel as long as they are.
You look down at that hand and you think, what is happening? How am I getting all these hands?
Patience is key.
Yeah, you're playing like 300, 600 for like 2 hours. Or like 1, 2.
125.
Confidently puts out the 125,000. Oh boy, James with nines again in this spot. It was the exact same spot, exactly one orbit ago.
Ace Jack for Michael then. Queen for Michael now.
Notice we were just talking yesterday that it was queens against nines. Oh, Albert. I'll stop what I was about to say because this might be a spot that we lose the man, or at least he's willing to commit his chips. We have
John, is that
60K.
true? Albert got in on the ACR tournament too?
Wasn't told that. I might
heard
be
that.
wrong. Certainly don't know every story. We'll have to double check that. If so, then 3 of the 5 here. Of course, there is many seats earned and given away.
And Albert's
Yeah.
got buy-ins to like $7,000 tournaments too. Like he's not a.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah, he's got. I believe the number is $400,000 or $500,000 in lifetime tournament earnings on Hendon Mob. So.
Well, right here, all his chips are in the middle, just under 15 big blinds. Certainly understandable with the pocket eights. After the chip leader opens and sees a call, this is a very similar spot that Steven was in with the sevens just 1 orbit ago. Steven got away from it. Eights, slightly better.
All in.
Understandable. And look at that goal. He
Oh,
knows
and
he's in
boom!
trouble.
Yeah, he immediately rolls him over too. I think he bumped Steven before he turned him up.
Hey, we need some eights.
9-9 flop. You ready?
James, like I said, I had the same spot. I had the same thing.
Oh, it hit.
Oh, man. I was just saying that Michael had queens versus
man,
nines,
you
and the
saved me
nines
for a big
catapulted
one.
into the
Hit
chip
nines.
lead.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not flatting it.
The 9s would have
Well,
got
no,
him.
no,
Nines
no,
would
no,
have
no.
got
Like saying if he raised, he calls it, and hypothetically, if he was just like.
They're
dumb.
talking through an alternate universe where all the chips could have got in with nines there. Didn't happen this time. Good game to Albert. He played well. He was confident and relaxed the whole time.
He told me that he was here to F stuff up.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
So he was a wrecking crew up here, and he did what he said he was doing.
Look at these chips. Michael now has more than half the chips in play, playing forehand.
Yeah, it has to at that point.
Confidently well atop the leaderboard. He could double anyone up and still have the chip lead.
Reese Poo, get all of Michael's friends and family together and get them all on Twitch or YouTube, because this is some fun history for everybody to be a part of.
James gets away from those pocket nines twice. Both times he did not have the best hand pre-flop. So good on him. Obviously, we know that time he could have made all the chips, but made the right fold.
Yeah, Millie Maker's a good one, or
That
Monster
is
Stack.
correct.
Monster Stack's better value because it's a freeze out, but Millie Maker you at least get to put in your up to 4 bullets, right?
Now it's James with the
They're
betting
both
lead in the
1500.
open.
They both
King
get like
Queen
a
flops
middle
top pair on a
top
monotone board. We don't know
But I
Michael's
think they might be-
cards. Play this one blind.
Yeah,
Yebex, the winner of this tournament gets $134,000 US.
Yeah, there's something else for sure. Those are like the best value bracelet events probably.
James continues with his top pair,
That's
second
even better value
kicker,
than main, right?
He breathed on it.
finds a quick fold.
Yep. I think all he had to do was breathe on the pot on that one, and it was
I
good.
mean,
It's always the best time of the year. But like, it's
I mean, you'll
usually
get way more.
Shout out to
plus
Albert,
slots
made a
than
deep
the
run,
main
5th
event.
place. He goes home with $28,384.
Every
There you
year
see it
since
on your
I've
screen.
played.
Right on cue. 4th place,
well,
next player gets
yeah,
36,000, and then
Dream, bro.
3rd place 60,000. So this next pay jump is worth about $24,000 if you
It's pretty sweet.
are not the next one eliminated.
All
That's
my
what all these
dad's
players
friends are
seek.
so jealous of me.
Michael in control here with 6.8 million, I suppose, might be the number, right around
I mean,
7.
the main's good, but like, you still get the best.
Very, very, very difficult
Where
to
some guys
have
actually
over
skip the
100
million
big
makers, right?
blinds at this stage in the tournament.
mostly.
That's where Michael is.
It's pretty amazing.
Good spot.
Yeah, they might skip those 15.
I'm not sure Hold'em fan how Brian Hastings did. He
It's sick
did
if,
make it.
like,
He made it to day 2, and I
almost
believe day
always
3.
somebody gets a table.
But we didn't have him on the stream, so.
Once those guys enter, there's a chance that.
Oh,
not that
Mom's in the chat. Hi, Joanne.
But some of them are not
Welcome and congratulations.
that same field as well.
True, but
Ah,
like,
there we
when
go.
you're playing
Colorado
somebody
is sending the heat over.
badly, right?
That
Beautiful.
explains it,
Like, you might be making.
because he's had magic fingers all
They
day.
are, but yeah,
Should be very proud of his play. Has over half the chips in play, dominant position, 4 players left, has already locked up over $36,000, playing for $134,000. So he's ran hot, he's made good plays. When you have that combination, good things happen. And for him, that means a massive stack here at this final table.
this next one's gonna be the painful jump.
You hear it from Steven. He says the next one is going to be the painful jump.
That's right.
This is the 24K pay jump. One of the, obviously the biggest yet. Each one is incrementally larger, but this one is a big one.
25th. Yeah, it's gonna hang out here for
Picking up some hands.
maybe even hop in this 286 and it's gonna overlay that.
We're
Steven
glad.
already planning his evening
Well,
plans.
Is that right? I
He
missed
says,
it.
I might just hop into this $286 tournament this evening.
There we go.
Congrats.
Although that would be tough after busting this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep that with
Play a
20K.
smaller tournament. Not
Just go in and go all in every hand.
Yeah.
not take every spot.
Steven looks down at the Queen Jack offsuit with just over 11 big blinds. Playing 4-handed. This might be worthy of a shove, and he
He's going with
agrees. Just expect to see Michael with kings or better here. Not happening. 5-8 offsuit. Now it's only James. Oh, James will be calling.
How much is it?
11 big blinds, king, queen, offsuit,
645 call.
quick call, and Steven is in trouble. Ayah, he says.
Yeah.
You need a jack.
Looking for jack, paint cards.
He's calling it.
Oh, now a
Okay.
10.
Yeah, now a 10 helps.
Some more outs.
Jack.
Oh,
How
a
about
jack.
that?
Steven does not want to go away.
Again.
All the satellite winners just
Like a Band-Aid
upset they did not get those $24,000 they
hear
deserve to
that.
get in that hand. And Steven comes
There's
back,
a lot of people probably in
keeps
this
crawling
room
down
that
to
would
10, 15
explode.
big blinds, and then finding a
Your
double.
reaction, no one even knowing you
It's,
lost.
you know, you keep him hanging around, and pretty soon he's gonna, you know, he's capable of catching fire
you've been
too.
playing as
You
long
know,
as, Troll.
It's like, what is there to swing? Just take it.
if he's hanging around this long, card dead. Imagine when
Yeah.
he starts making hands. You know.
Well, and not even hasn't exactly been card dead. Like gets the pocket sevens, gets the the ace eight, or like finding spots that many people would get their chips in and folding
like
at
it,
appropriate times. That time, sucking out, finding the
More of
jack.
a,
win.
no,
That's
not like
fine,
it.
it happens.
More of a challenge.
It makes you feel better.
You notice that Steven looked at James and said, "Man, based on your reaction, people wouldn't even know you lost the hand." James was stoic. It happens. He's been here. He's seen it all. Not going to get upset. Let's next hand, please.
James with the mystery cards
120.
comes right out swinging. 125, I think he said. 120.
Now these two are much closer in stacks, and interesting. Both experienced tournament pros with all the earnings are the two short stacks at the table. Our satellite winners are the bigger stacks. Of course, Michael, the biggest, but we'll see if they're capable and confident enough to leverage these big stacks against the shorter stacks, even though the shorter stacks have much more experience in high buy-in tournament, deep stack, or big prize pool poker.
They misspelled your name.
No, did they? They were misspelling my name all. My parents were so upset. I was like, I thought we were really bad.
Yeah, that's what I told her.
How do you misspell Solomon?
I don't know who we're talking about.
Right.
Hopefully it wasn't us.
Oh, maybe with the V in the name. He's talking about someone else.
Yeah.
I see.
We've got Steven on the graphics with the
Yeah.
PH. I think that's correct.
That's usually only when you like sweat together. It's like,
Yeah.
sweat together.
First one's good. They normally
Oh.
say, yeah.
It's pretty bad.
First one's bad.
It is pretty spectacular. Oh, man, you're right. Hello, Jahira.
Welcome back.
We've got the Philippine contingent
Just playing in
back in the house.
October last year, like 30 left. It's like 100K up top. I had like 40 bigs. I 5-bet jam pre-flop and button.
I've just listened to the History of Southeast Asia
And you
podcast.
had, like, you had Ace King or something?
I had Ace King
And
flop.
man, there's a lot of
God,
history I
you
didn't
never-
know.
He's like, I thought you were making a move. And he
Yeah.
turned the cards over.
Pretty
I
I
was
fascinating.
imagine. Asia's been around for quite some time.
Yeah,
There's no way you would that.
Flop
Yeah.
it has.
5-2 jack.
Oh,
Yeah,
we have a
it's literally
collision
not
incoming.
possible.
So brutal.
Steven
Every
has
time I look at
140.
the ace-9 offsuit. Very strong hand on the button. And Michael has 6-6. I could see this going 3-bet, 4-bet to all in from Steven. There's one world where that happens. Of course, it starts with Michael wanting to raise it up. This feels like a spot as the chip leader. I'm supposed to raise here. I'm supposed to put pressure on. Michael's telling himself that. See if he decides to pull the trigger.
You got two of the big chips.
350.
Yep,
That's 350.
he agrees. Steven, very strong player, good hand reader, knows the situation, knows the chip leader wants to put pressure on him. Can he find a 4-bet shove with his 1.3 million behind? Or will he look for a better spot? He's already put in 140, started the hand with 1.5 million or so. 25 big blinds. He did say moments ago, this pay jump is the one that hurts. Doesn't want to be the next man out, but at the end of the day, Steven's going to play his hand.
All in.
Yep, there it
Yeah, he
is.
does it.
4-bet shove, exactly as predicted, and now Michael has the decision. He's already put in 350K. I love this shove. Steven correctly identifying that the ace-9 is a very strong hand four-handed. The chip leader's 3-bet doesn't have to mean strength. Put the pressure on him, make him make the right call. Give yourself multiple ways to win the hand. And he knows if he wins this pot, he is no longer the short stack. Puts James as the very short stack player at the table. Correct for a Mountain Man, even before the flop. But that assumes that a flop will come. When you put the 4-bet in, you get your opponent to fold a lot of hands. The better, slightly better 6-6 included. So good job, Steven, finding the spot to 4-bet all in at the right time. Just perfectly played.
1.8-ish, a little more than 1.8.
Let James know he's almost got him covered.
Yeah, and now James is the short stack. Steven can breathe a little bit. Pressure shifts over to James to chip up in a similar spot if he can. It's expensive. Half the hands you have to put chips in pre-flop. 150K every orbit. When you're only sitting on 1.7 million, those add up quickly.
Sam calls.
Yeah, unlike his friend on the right, Sam has chosen to limp in almost every hand he's played from the small blind. And look at this,
James remembers that ace on the turn here
Yep.
and decides to go ahead and raise it up again.
It's one of the hands that we're fine raising and then folding if our opponent re-raises us. So it's so bad that you can play it as a raise.
Right.
Play the top hands as raises, the very bottom hands as raises, because it makes your decisions easy when you face resistance.
Hey, what's up?
How are you? Hey, how are you?
You're having in this, or?
I'm having that.
Dude, there's a bunch of overlay.
Yeah.
You might as well.
Good one.
You hear them doing the publicizing for us.
I
Come on
appreciate it.
down.
That's right.
Overlay means extra value for poker players. Come get a piece of this $100,000 prize pool. Flight starting at 6 p.m. The final fight of the $286 $100,000 guaranteed no limit hold'em tournament. Sam on the button folds the Israeli Ron hand, queen deuce into the muck.
It's making it easy for you.
I feel like he's told you every time. He's been in this blind versus blind.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
This is a helpful guy.
Check, check. Let's see a flop.
Not really terribly great for anybody.
Drew Whitlow says, keep it up, Mike. Everyone from work is pulling for you. Look at the fans in the chat.
Heck yeah. Round up a few more people. Tell them to look on their phones, other devices.
Well,
I want the views.
Welcome to the content creation game. Put in a lot of work. Want people to appreciate that, especially on a special event like this. Dean Saragumba says the same thing. Sabrina Tron in the house. Yeah, so many
Good deal.
So many Mike fans. How can you not root for the guy in on a satellite, playing for more money than he's ever made in a poker tournament?
According to our Hendon Mob statistics, James is, or I'm sorry, Michael's biggest poker score so far, 79,823. That was at the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa, first place. $250 buy-in multi-flight tournament.
And first place today is 134,265. So would be his biggest score of all time.
That's
Not to jinx the man. He's in excellent control of this final table thus far. Helps when you get good cards. Queen deuce, not so good. Faces a raise from James on the button to 125K. Michael has had a tendency to call with mediocre hands, see flops, but this one maybe just a little bit too bad for him and lets it go.
Very sweet. You take that one?
Which one here?
The one from Joanne there. Mike's mom in Colorado appreciates all his co-workers' support. Let's go, Mike.
Including I'm Watermelon 88 maybe.
There you go.
Interesting name. With seeds or without Watermelon 88? There's only one right answer.
I grew up picking watermelon, so
Did you?
you know, yeah. My North Florida farm boy just came out right then. My hackles got up.
Sam has got to be frustrated. Every time it's a blind versus blind situation, he just has bad hands. This one's suited. It's four-handed here in the big blind. You've got to be comfortable playing some post-flop play because you need to be involved with so many hands.
close play? Okay, yeah.
So yes,
Sam calls.
chooses to call.
That makes sense.
In
I mean,
position.
Turner's gonna overlay it.
Already invested so many chips. Oh,
It's 2 hearts, too.
a flush draw for the man
Oh, yeah.
Sam.
Yeah, probably.
Don't know what Michael has. 2 blind cards. We get to play this from Sam's position, in position.
Michael checks to him. See if he'll semi-bluff at this. People still say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Dating myself.
Don't think there's any better term for it.
Yeah, good.
Trying betting to try to take down the pot, but if we get called, we have lots of backup in the form of hearts in this case. Michael did not check to fold. He calls. 135K more enter the pot, and 10 of clubs not what Sam was looking for.
Thinking about Michael's hand here, though.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of small pairs and then aces. Unless Michael is laying a trap with a monster. But 2s, 3s, 5s, maybe like 4-5, 6-3, 6-7. Those kind of hands play this the same way. It's hard to make a pair. Of course, straight draws are available as well, like 5-7 and 3-5, that sort of thing. I like this size up from Sam if he's going to continue with the semi-bluff, as you say. Raising the size of our bet encourages our opponent to fold because it's more expensive for him to call, obviously. So if he does have one of those weak hands we